Alrighty. Good times, good times. This will be the final rim of the day, and I've saved the best or worst, depending on how you want to look at it, for last, because this is the most complex rim. It doesn't look that complex, but it has a lot of shapes that are going to be a challenge. So this is the easy part up here. The challenge is these various faceted looks and getting them all to kind of come together and also morph in a way that looks good. So that's the challenge with this rim. So, oh, and before I get started, I wanted to point out on the last rim series, you'll remember we did this rim here. And let me make this a little less confusing for a moment. We did this rim here, and I did end up going back and getting rid of all those sharp edges and beveling them because it was not working with the reflections. I needed the bevels. Just relying on sharp edges to do your reflections is just, it's not enough on a rim. You just need this extra, you need the extra geometry, you need the bevels. Otherwise you'll just get all kinds of weird V's and facets and stuff that look bad. So just wanted to highlight that real quick before we move on to our new rim here. And where'd that, there'd that go? Okay, so let's get this all lined up. Take a look at it. And let's see, let's shrink this image down a little. It'll let me grab it. Come on. Let me grab it. Let me grab it. What is going on? Things are not cooperating. Am I in edit mode? I'm in edit mode for something. That's weird. Alright. Let's shrink that down and kind of orbit it, rotate it into, let me go ahead and throw that alpha back on so I can see more closely my orientation. And yeah, that's going to have to move over a little. I have to rotate it a little bit more. Something like there. And yeah, we've got another 5-spoke jobby here. And let's maybe scale that down a touch. And that should probably do it, I think. That looks pretty squared away. So again, you know, don't have to model a ton of this. Let me jump in here to my wheel blank and delete some of it. Back into this view here. Go ahead and scale that down a little to about there. And let's grab what we need. So I don't need that. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And let's go ahead and delete this. Grab that, delete that. Alright, let's set up our modifiers. We're going to do a mirror right there on the Y. Turn on clipping. Alright, and then we will do our array, as it were. And so this is another 5-element, 5-spoke kind of deal. So we need 5. And I will click on Object Offset, and our empty is already set to 5 from our last one. So all we got to do is click on the empty. Give this a little rotate until we are just right there. Merge first and last. Change this distance to 0.1 millimeters. I'm going to do the same thing on the mirror. I'm going to change the merge limit to 0.1 millimeters for now. And we can get started. So the first thing I'll do is I'll make this flat area right here. So I'm going to have to add a little bit of geometry in here. Kind of pin it. Actually, let me try this way. Let me put that guy there. Let me put this guy, I'll just slide this one down a little. And let's space these out evenly so that we have a nice even mesh between these points. Like that. There we go. That'll look better. Alright, then I'm going to kind of do the same thing. Let me grab this guy and slide him over and pin it right about there. And I'll do the same thing. I'll kind of space this. Maybe I'll just eyeball this one. Kind of space it evenly right about there. And then I can add this guy here. So let's throw this guy down. I will scale it in on the X a little. And I'll just kind of move it until I'm happy with where it belongs there. Let's space these guys out here. Let's do the same kind of treatment here. Oh, that looks nicer now. Okay. And I don't know if that's going to be enough. I don't know. Probably move this guy. Something like that. Yeah, that's probably going to look a little bit better. And then let me go to like bounding box center, and I want to get these two. Yeah, that looks good. All right, back to 3D cursor. Now let's go ahead and extrude, and I don't think scaling is going to take us in the direction we want to go, so we'll just move it till we get about where we want to be, which is probably going to be here. Now, let me go ahead and flatten this out, just to kind of maybe rotate it a little like that. Maybe scale it out a little bit. Here, put it back on bounding box center. Actually, I don't want to scale it out. I want to keep it the same there. You know, it doesn't quite match the width. Well, maybe I'll scale it out a little bit. Like about so. It shouldn't be too big a deal. And then from here, I will duplicate, give it a little rotate, scale it in some, kind of move it into position. I want it to be, say, right about there. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. And then we will bridge these edge loops and give it at least one, maybe two cuts, and we can play with the smoothness. And we're just going to end up manually moving these around a bit. So let's just move these over about there. Move this guy maybe about there, and move that guy maybe right about there. And try to straighten these out a little. About like so. Alright, let's make sure I'm still flat, not making any... Yeah, still flat. Still doing it right. Alright, then we will just extrude down to here. Yeah, we'll scale it in. Give us that taper, and that's working. Alright, we're going to have to kind of do a similar thing that we did before. I'll put it here and kind of do... We have another one that goes like that, and so that's that kind of concave thing that goes into the middle of the wheel, and that's going to be interesting to work with as we move on through this process here. So let's go ahead and bridge these edge loops. This one is probably just going to have to be all manually. I don't think I can sit here and, well, maybe I can add some cuts, change the smoothness of it. Hey, that might actually work. We can at least get the inside going, and then from the outside, let's see what we can do with active element selections. And I'll just kind of scale and maybe rotate these guys until I'm happier with where they're going. Let me give this a little rotate too. Give me a little more room over here. Let's scale that one out some. I could probably rotate this back a little. Put it back over there. Alright. Give this one a little rotate, like there. I'll bring it down to, say, there. Bring this one in a little. Try to follow that curve. Alright, let's rotate that one down a little to maybe there. Something like that. Maybe rotate that one down a little. Maybe bring it. And rotate a little more. I can't just move over there, and then we'll approximate splitting the difference here. Okay, that should give us a pretty good start. Yeah, that works. Alright, let's grab this line here. Making sure, yeah, I did turn clipping on. Yeah, alright, so we can just kind of pull this out to roughly there, because this is pretty flat, but this tapers upwards. So let's scale this up. About like so. And let's give ourselves maybe 2 lines in here that we can scale up. So we have about the shape that we're looking for. Something like that. Alright, so that's the easy part. Alright, that is the easy part. So now, how do I want to tackle the rest of this rim? I think what I'll do, I want to kind of work on this convex shape, and I think I want to do that now. And that way I'll have an edge over here, and I'll be able to work on these facets after I have this. This is kind of an anchor. This is really an important kind of anchor section of this entire model. So let's take it that way. Let's grab from here to here. Yeah, we'll do that because that's the convex part, and I'm going to extrude and just move it straight down on the Z until we get to here. Now, let me see. How's that looking this way? I haven't actually, now give me a second here. Before I do that, I probably want to actually get that shape. No, that's flat right there. The convex part is made out of the shape, but this is flat. So how am I going to duplicate that? So this should remain flat, but the remainder of it should be convex. It'd probably be convex if I just moved it back, right? So if I still, yeah, I need to extrude it straight down. Let's try getting this lined up. That actually lines up really good right there. Let me scale it just a bit like that. Now let me grab. Let's get these lined up on this line here. We'll worry about extra geometry here in a second. What I need to do right now is try to create that little convex shape, concave shape, as it were. By pulling this back. And see, I don't have a convex still. It's kind of convex. Tough to see it, but it does have that bit of a dip. If I look at it, if I line up with looking at a part of the mesh I can see here, if I look at it this way, you can say the whole thing is convex. So that's about concave. I keep saying convex. Convex if I look at it the other way. So that should give me about what I'm after there. Let's add some geometry along here so we have something that looks more like quads, right? Let's need some more room to work with. Something like that. I'll do the same thing along here. Give myself some more room to work with, like that. So let me go ahead and finish. I'm thinking this here by, I'll edge slide that guy up to, say, there. And then I'll add another one for myself. Right about yonder. Right about yonder. All right, let's go ahead and grab these, and I'll give it a little rotate. About like that. That's not too bad. Now, I'm thinking maybe I want to scale these in a little bit, these lines. I think I might just want to go back to active element and just scale it back this way a bit. And I'm going to have to end up redoing the circle if I do this, I think. Or I can probably shear my way out of it and get it back to a circular shape. It'll be circular enough. I can always recirculify that later. But anyway, now that I have that, I should be able to grab these, and we can extrude, and we will add geometry as needed here in a second. Kind of get this in a location that makes sense to where these guys are joining together. I want to be as accurate as I can because I leave very little tolerance. Okay, there we go. Let's grab maybe 2 more here. And, well, that's probably about right. I mean, maybe do that, and then we can just kind of line these guys up with the circle again. And like I said, this is something we can fix up after we're closer to finish. We'll get these evenly spaced and we'll turn this into a perfect circle. But this is not our priority at the moment. Now that we have this, and it should be a little concave shape going back to the center, and these guys here, I'm going to want to make sure that they look good. They look like they're just about where they need to be. This, I'll probably, let me give this a quick edge slide down, edge slide back up, edge slide down again. Kind of just get it evenly. Just want it to be smooth. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so let's try to get these facets figured out. Let me take another look. So, I think what I'll do is I'll start with a single extrusion along this entire area. And then I'll just kind of mess with it as needed, I guess. So I'll just do a short extrusion like this. Like that deep, alright? And then I've just got to kind of wing it. This part here should remain close. But then, so let's say from here all the way through to here, that needs to be, there's lots of shapes that have to happen here. It has to come in, it has to go down. So let's do a rotation along the Y to start this shape. Right about there. And I'm kind of having to eyeball this. I'm not entirely sure. It's because I'm doing this right here. So I just got to kind of like, maybe that's a little too much. Maybe it should be about, I can come back to it because I have to now, I have to shrink this down now, right? Because it's a totally different shape. So, I mean, you can try doing this, right? But that's going to make a little bit of a mess. Let me try doing active element here. I scale. Yeah, see, it's just, I'm probably just going to have to manually set every single one of these. I don't know if scaling is going to give me what I'm after. Let me just start with a scale to get the top where I want it. And then I'll kind of do an active element scale along the Y maybe to about there. Now let me go try a little shearing. No, that's not going to. Nope, that's not going to be what I'm after. So let's just do this manually. Let's just do this manually. I got this one where I want it. These just kind of need to get closer. So let's just kind of move them, kind of manually tweaking everything. I'm ignoring all of this over here for now. I just want to get these guys out here. Right now, I don't like where that one went. Let's put that maybe. Oops. Oh dear. Oh dear. Come on now. I may not have. Yeah, I think it'll work. It'll work. Yeah, that'll work. All right. So let's put that one there. Let's put that one there. Whoops, not there. There. Maybe get in X-ray mode so I can see where I'm going next. Put that guy there. Put this guy there. Put that one, let's say there. Put that one, say about there. And, oh no. Oh no. I moved the whole thing. I gotta undo this entire thing. What has happened? That was not the plan. Alright, I accidentally moved that entire line at some point. It was not supposed to be selected. Yeah. None of this was supposed to be selected when I was doing that. So let's make sure we deselect it this time. Alright, good grief. And let's do everything again. my favorite thing is doing things over. No, that's not in the right place. That should probably be up there. Let's do something like that. Do something like that. Do something like so. Do something like so. Kind of just working our way back around the way we had it. The more I do this, the more I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to re-flatten this thing and then re-rotate it. I don't think that's going to end up playing out. Yeah, see how crooked it is? Alright, so what I'll do then, I just basically need to re-flatten it out. And I don't like where this is either. That should be under this one. So let me move it till it's underneath that guy. Right about there. Okay. So let's do that again. Let's probably going to have to do like a shear, right? So let me make sure I have active element. All right. I don't think I can rotate it, because if I scale X0 and flatten that out, hold on, I must have gone on bounding box. Yeah, scale S0 and flatten that out. I'm going to have to shear it, get it where I had it before, like that, and that should work. And that's way too much. Well, let's try to get that back into a more reasonable shape. There, like that. And that looks about right to me. Okay. So that gives me here, getting back to the picture, that gives me basically this section and this section. So now I got to kind of focus on the next portion of it there, which is going to be from here to about there. Alright, so, man, this is fun, huh? How's that going to play out? How is that going to play out? So I grab this entire thing, then I've got to think about, yeah, that's not going to work that way, is it? This is going to end up having to be like an extrusion of some sort. Maybe even this one. So yeah, how am I going to do this facet? How am I going to do that facet there? It looks like, I wonder if I basically flip it around. In essence, what if I tried that? Let me try active element. What happens if I scale along the X? Not what I'm after. That's making it flat that way. That's not what I want to do. That is not what I'm after. What if I do something like this? Rather than the rest of it moving. Why would only one of that be moving? Because it's already flat with it. Okay. Well, that's already flat. I need an angle. I basically need this angle down here, and then it kind of needs to go. I need to turn this into basically a diamond. And so how's the best way to do that? Would that be... Alright, what if I grab this? Let me grab that to start with. Maybe I should line it up from the front end first. And then I'll work on flattening it out. Let's try that. So let's try... Yeah, so this is our anchor, I guess. That's our anchor point. Let's go ahead and start moving this out. And yeah, these tight vertices here will come down here. So yeah, that should work out okay. Just move these guys down. I think that's a mistake I made last time, was I tried to do... I'll come back and I'll refine this here in just a second. Let me just do these guys here, and I'm going to scale Y0 just to get them perfectly flat. Okay. So then I can start grabbing the rest of these. And we will try doing something like this, and then that. Follow that line there. And what has happened here? Yeah, just fill this up. Something like that. Alright, so now what I have to do is deal with it. Hold on. Hold up. So let's look at it from side view now. Let's start by just making it flat. I think we can probably work with some shearing. If I go and I scale X0, and then let's try giving it a shear about going that way. All right. And then let me deselect to about where this point is. Right about there. And I'll reselect this guy. And I'm going to shear it going back the other way till it looks like that. So that should keep me aligned like that. That should give me my facets. Yep, I have some facets going every which way here. Now, what I don't have is this line. Or do I? No, I guess that's this one right here. That's basically going to be a continuation of that one. So that'll be there. Yeah, that will eventually be there. That'll get there. So that's there. All right. I'm all right. We're doing okay. Let's take these and we will extrude them out about like so. Give them a little rotate. And very carefully kind of just get them located. Like that one looks like it's mostly there already. Let me pull it. Oops. Let me pull it down to about. It actually kind of does a curve going this way. So I'm actually kind of need to put it up a little higher, and then we'll kind of have to bow this a little bit. Just deselect that one. I'm just going to kind of work my way down and get these to where they're just touching. About like so. I need 2 edge loops here, and then we should be able to go to bounding box. All right, and push that one out a little. Same thing here. Push that one out just a little to kind of give us that little bow looking thing going on right there, and then we will just face these up from there, and that'll have a triangle. Or will it? Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Hey. Undo, undo. Okay. It's from here to here to there to there. Face that up. There we go. And then from there, face, face. And let's see. We don't have to have that, and I'm not sure we want it either. Let me take a look at the thing. No, I actually do kind of want that lip there, because there's a lip. There's a very definite, defined lip right here. So I'm going to leave that alone. And the only other thing to do, let's see. That's going to be a bevel. Let me get a quick look at what this bevel is going to look like. By throwing it in real quick. There's some kind of weirdness going on here. It's probably this. I could turn it into a quad, right? Do I have doubles? Hold on a second. Maybe I may have some doubles, or I may have some normals facing the wrong way. So let's recalculate all the normals. Give 1, 2, 3, 4. I should be able to. Why is that not facing up? Is there something else going on back here? It's behaving strangely, that's for sure. Still getting that weird crease looking thing going on there. Let's just keep messing around with this until we can get something that starts to make sense here. Don't understand why I can't like detriangulate that with just F. Let me go. Oh, I think I see what's happening here. This edge doesn't belong there. That edge was never supposed to be there. Now, if I bevel this, I should have a much cleaner look. Yeah, and then of course we'll mess around with some other beveling and whatnot to kind of clean this up some more. I think I'm going to actually need a little more geometry somewhere. Not sure where or how yet. But anyway, let me undo that bevel because I'm not ready for the bevel yet. I just wanted to look at it real quick like. Alright. And then of course I could, maybe I just do want to face that up, you know. See how that reflection, yeah, I don't like that line there. So let's undo it. There. Alright, so that should work. Starting to get our facets. Something kind of funky going on. Oh yeah, because this is this guy here. Let me move this out on the X till it lines up with these. About like that. And we'll be able to clean up all those reflections here in a minute. Alright, great. Cool. So, now what do I have? There's basically just the rest of this, which is just a single extrusion down to give us our thickness from here down, right? So let's extrude along the X, right? We just go into active element, SX0, 0, not O. Cool. And oh, heads up, something I missed. Okay, so I think this inner line is what yeah, that's all. No problem. So this inner line needs to go and match up this. So no problem. No problem. Cool, that'll give us the remainder of our shape. Yeah, that should work. So we'll just kind of do that. Let's see, it's just going to be kind of a lot more manual realignment, as it were, till we kind of start getting something that makes some sense. Just kind of throw that right about there-ish. Okay, and it's mostly lined up. I'll start kind of tucking that down there, kind of tucking that down there. Let's see, where's the bottom at? Kind of get the bottom in position now. Let's see about how much I need to mess around here. That one there. Get that one about there. Get that one about so. Get that one about so. And kind of... Alright, let's do some of these top ones. Go back and do some of these bottom ones. And it's a little wonky, and I could probably straighten it out. Let me just give it a little, yeah, let me just get a little SY0, and then I'll shear it back into position so that it's perfectly straight. I just want a nice straight line there. Something like that. What's up, Lorenzo Purimahua? Purimahua? Am I butchering? I'm sorry if I know I'm butchering your name. I don't mean to do that. How you doing today? Alright, let's see. How are we doing here? Okay, that looks pretty much done in there. And then I just got to do this side through here. And let's see, how's that look? It's going to be That's pretty straightforward. Like this one is simple. Let's just do the little. Let me see if I can give you some vertigo before we get this day over with here. Extrude this back, and then I will line it up. Yeah, scale like 0. Whoa! Every time I go to do active element, it switches it over to bounding box center. It drives me nuts. All right, whatever. Anyway, let's do something like this. Let's scale Z. And let's do active element. Scale Z. Scale Y. And pretty good, huh? Let's go from like here to here. Make this the active element. Do the shear, and we'll just kind of shear that over. Might need to deselect this one here. Keep shearing it over. There we go. All right, back to selection mode there, and that should be it. Let's see about adding our detailing bevels now, because that's what's really going to set this thing apart. Or I mean, that's what's really going to finish this job, is with the bevels. So let's do this one. I'm going to do several tight little bevels, like that guy there. So that'll give us that crease, and then we want to make this a single bevel going this way. Keep thinking. And probably also going this way. Oh, you know what? It's a lot of interconnected beveling, so let me make sure I get all the connected bevels together. Alright, so, whoops, that one. Come on, guy. Come on, guy. Alright, so that one, and this one, and I need to be in edge select mode, as it turns out. Kind of working our way through here. Alright, so that one's going to have to connect up to there. And let me see, let's look at that image some more. So, let me make sure I get a bevel in there if I haven't already. Nope, that's that one. I feel like there should be... No, that does not need a bevel. But up here... No, up here there should be a bevel. Right here. That should have a bevel. Get that shape. Right? Because this is all one shape. And then, of course, this is going to need a bevel, right? Going through here. That's kind of a no-brainer. What else? Any other bevels going to be needed in this thing? I think that'll do it. No, I might want to actually put a bevel right there as well. So let's do these. Let's throw these bevels together. See how that looks. Hey, hey, hey! Ha ha! Not too shabby, huh? Something's going on over here. Not quite sure what. I probably just have an alignment issue. Let me go into 3D cursor. Oh yeah, it's just too close. So let me do that. I'll put this back to put Humpty Dumpty back together again here. Oh, much better. Okay. How about that? That kind of worked out all right, huh? That worked out okay. Now I need I'm going to push this guy up to give this some more containment. About like this, I'm thinking. And I'm probably going to pull this one down for a little further containment as well. And by containment, I just mean like reflection containment. Let me kind of try to space some of these out a little bit more. And I should probably just evenly space them, period. Let me see if I can do that without wrecking it. Let me save it before I do it. I kind of just want to get a little bit, you know, I get a little bit uptight. Try to just clean this up just so. Let's see if that makes anything any better. Oh man, that's doing that weird bug again. I'll just manually fix this. But yeah, that's. They're on a boundary. Sometimes that tool doesn't quite work right. That's okay. Just manually fix that, because that definitely makes, in my opinion, a much cleaner looking mesh. It'll morph a lot better. Yeah, that's much more even. You might want to add, this is pretty wide and this is so super tight through here. If I add a couple of loops in here like that, that might help with reflections and morphing. Same thing if I do a couple more in here and add a couple in there. Still feel like that is not quite right. Just is not quite the right shape. Oh man, look at that. It's bowing. It's doing this weird bowing thing. That sucks. Oh boy. Alright, well, let's get rid of all these edge loops that I just made for myself. I need to simplify what's going on here right now. I've got to fix this. This is going to need a little bit of repair. So let me kind of crawl under it here. This should not be doing that. It should be straight, right? Yeah, that should be just the same length. So let me try maybe for top view. Yeah, you can see it's doing this number. That's not right. So let me just grab those. I'm sure I didn't grab anything else. Just grab those. Go back into top view. And let me make that the active element. And let's give it a shear. I'm going to have to flatten them like one at a time. I think if I flatten them all three, well, I guess I could flatten all three and just pull them back, but I kind of want to just do one at a time. Let's start with the back one. Go from there to there, and I will SX0. Okay. And then from there to there, SX0. And then from there to there, SX0. And that should preserve everything to where now I should just have a nice flat. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Whew. Even better. Was looking all right before, now it's even better. So let me look at the coloring, because this one has, okay, it's just the outer rim, that's one color, and everything else is black. So let's have a, let's kind of do that real quick. Let me do something like, can I just grab those two and go maybe like this? Yeah, I think I need one more. Yeah, like that, and then I can just kind of grab those and those and those and those and that and that. Oops, I want to deselect, I want to select. Alright. Actually, I want to make the rest of it. Let me Control I. This is the part I want to be black, so let's make that material. Yeah. Edgy. Wedgy. How about that? Right on. That's looking good. That's turning out pretty damn good. That's, yeah. Cool. I thought that was going to be a lot harder than it was. It ended up being, it still took some thought to pull off all of these angles and facets and everything. I still feel like this area could use a little bit of work. I don't know what all I can do with it, but maybe if I use the edge loops, I can start spacing some of this stuff out in here. I don't know how well that's going to go. Let me try. What happens if I space that real quick? What's that look like? And then if I space this, and then if I tab out, I really flatten it out, because there was that kind of kink looking reflection in there, and now that's mostly gone. Let me try putting on the orange matte cap. Yeah, it's a little bit chunky in there. Some of these reflections are a little chunky. I may have to work on some of these. It's pretty flat. I mean, I'm not sure what else I could do with it. Could probably maybe make it a little less extreme. I don't know. There's only so much you can really do. You probably push it up a little bit, maybe push this down a little bit. Help with some of those reflections. Yeah, the closer those are to the edge, the cleaner this reflection is going to get. So maybe what I'll do is I'm going to edge slide, I'm going to align this way, and we'll make that a tight loop going like that. And we'll do the same thing with this guy. I'm going to edge slide, I'm going to align going that way. So that I actually, oh yeah, look how much better those are contained. Oh, it still has this though. So you kind of lose some of your help. It didn't really help anything, I don't think. I don't know, it's going to end up being a compromise, it looks like. Let's just let's undo what I just did there. Yeah, it's just kind of a pick your poison kind of thing. It looks like. I mean, you can maybe edge slide it over a little bit more. And it's just as long as we don't collapse. Yeah, we don't want to move too much of this geometry. I don't want to add a whole bunch more geometry. This is way more reflective than what you'll see in the game anyway. It should look pretty sharp. And like I said, we'll add a couple more here. We'll add, oh, I already had those two over there. Alright, so I've got some reflection stuff going on here, so I'm going to add an edge loop going this way, and then I'll throw one up here, and that should tighten up a lot of that. And I may kind of just maybe I'll push this one over a little this way. I'll push this one over that way some. Let's see how that looks. And that cleans up the face a good bit. Kind of makes a little flat spot there, but you won't see that because that all dips into the lip of the rim. Otherwise, yeah, this is looking. I think this is looking pretty good. This should function for our needs. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and make a duplicate of that. Just grab a duplicate. Where are we at? Where are we at? I'll call this it's the pre-mod backup, and I'm going to make a new collection for it. Backups, and I'll just toss that in there. Alright, it gives me this. Alright, I don't need to see this stuff any longer. And oh, you know what else? Actually, let me see that there's a ring that goes around this whole thing that is a, yeah. And as you can see, I've pretty much already got it almost entirely lined up. I can take this guy and line it right up. Let's do that. Let's line this one up perfectly with, I'm just going to kind of start from one end and work my way around. I'm just going to kind of trace this out. Kind of do that. Kind of do that. And give it a little bit of slightly less roundiness look to it. Okay. Alright, so let's give that a... Ooh. So I think the way I'm going to handle this is I'll start with a three-way bevel. Like so. I'm going to move this on the X. Give that a sharp edge. Like so. Jump down here. Make sure I turn on auto smooth. And then I'll grab these and give those a three-way bevel each. And that makes that. There we go. Now I gotta tighten up this reflection, so I'm gonna take this guy, I'm gonna slide him up some, and this one, I just need another one. I just need some more. I'll put this one in the middle, and I'll, actually, hold on. That's actually okay. I think it's fine the way that it is. I don't think I need any more containment at the top, do I? Well, I might want to put it in there. Just to be on the safe side there. Probably want to throw some containment up here as well. Just reflection containment. Like so. Yeah. Alright, so that's what I gotta do. So that should be my backup. Let me delete my backup, and I will make this my backup. Free mod. Come on, free mod. Mod backup. Alright, get that guy in there. Alright. Here we are. So let's go ahead and apply our modifiers. Apply the mirror. Before I do anything, make sure I check the wireframe. Make sure that I don't have anything that's getting glued together that shouldn't get glued together. Just making sure that these all look right. Because a lot of these are real tight, and sometimes if you make your merge limits too close, your bevels will glue together. We don't want that. So let's apply that. You can go ahead and turn off the wireframe. And then we can take this guy right here. I'm going to evenly space it out. Alt Shift, hold on, make sure I'm on 3D cursor. Alt Shift S and make sure it's a circle. There we go. And then all there really is to do is kind of mimic the rest of this shape, which should be fairly easy with one extrusion in, like so. Flat one. And then I'll probably do one more extrusion out. We'll pull it out just a tiny bit. Like so. And let me just kind of edge slide it. Is it flat? Is it not flat? Let me get the active element and see if... Man, they're not quite flat, are they? Let's get these flat. And that one should be flat. Okay, now they're flat. That should alleviate. Oops. What if I sharp edge that one? If I sharp edge that one. Alright, I just kind of want to get a little tiny bit of definition in here. I don't want a bunch. I want a little bit. There we go. Alright, let me go ahead and extrude, and I will merge at center. There we go. Okay. Cool. That should work. Alright, let's go ahead and get our hub portion of this made. Let's grab a circle. Duplicate. Put it out a little bit. Scale it up a bit. Maybe move it in a little. And extrude. Move the faces. Let's check normals on everything. Alright. That works. We have a rim. Go ahead and do our morphs now. Now I don't need to see that guy. Yeah, everything is applied as necessary. Things looking solid. Let's go ahead and grab the wheel template. Oops, I don't want to use the wheel template. There we go. Let's move this into position. There. Alright, grab this guy. Move that one into position. Yeah. Alright, and so as usual, we have to do some morphing to clear the hub. no big deal. Let's just kind of grab to, let's grab to about there. And let's do a little orthographic pull. And yeah, sharp's probably what I, oops, whoa, not fill. Alright, let me turn the template back on now that I can see. Can't really see from that angle, can I? Pull that out to right about there. Might, maybe want to go in just a little bit further. Don't want too much clipping of the back side of the rim. Maybe right about there. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work good. It'll work good! And of course I have made myself a mess again. Keep doing this. Oops, don't do that. Turn proportional editing off. Go back to active element. Make that flat again. Get that back where it belongs. Okay, there we go. Let's grab the whole thing. We gotta tab out real quick and go do our shape keys. 1, 2, 3. This one will be called scale. This one will be called offset. Alright, let's do our scale. This one's easy. We'll just scale it up until, whoa! Let's just scale it up. And what's going on here? We on, oh, on active element. Need to be on 3D cursor. Let's try this again. Alright, scale it up until we just get that kind of clipping that looks like that. Alright, when we move it, line up one edge here, about like so. We'll move this one until it's lined up with the hub edge, about like so, and then we will move the rest of it back, about like so. So that'll give us our scale. Okay, then offset. What we will do for offset, I'm going to hide the template for a moment, and we're just going to kind of do this again. About like that. And go back to this, and oh, actually before I do anything, hide this. Alright, hide that. I don't need that. Move that guy. Alright, now, and we'll go ahead and make that part of it. Let's go the other way with it, something like that. We can do some deep dishy on this one, huh? Not too, actually I gotta be kind of careful. I don't want to, like, I'm getting kind of some weird pulling on the extreme fringes of it, so I want to just kind of make it a little bit, and then I'll probably transition to a smooth, and then maybe just a little less pull. Something like that. Alright, let me grab this whole thing. Let me turn the wheel template back on, and just move it. Hold on. Turn that off, and we'll move this out to the far edge. Match up with that. Alt-H, so we didn't move that. Okay, and now we can check our offset. Cool. Alright, offset looks good. Looks like we're keeping our shapes and everything. Mess with scale. Mess with offset and scale. Okay. And that one is ready to be triangulated, exported, and looked at in the game. So that'll conclude the wheel streams for this truck. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you have questions that have to do with how to export or how to do some of the other stuff like UVs or whatever, there's a video link in the description below to a tutorial video for making a rim. It covers all the like intricate stuff. The point of these streams is just to kind of watch me make the rim, not learn how to make a rim. I mean, other than just kind of observing how I go about making a rim, and you can kind of, you know, see how to implement that into your own stuff. But for more basic stuff, there's already a video for that, and it's in the link in the video description below if you want to see that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.